Have you ever looked around and felt like everyone else is living life on fast forward while you're stuck on pause? Maybe your social feed is packed with engagement announcements, career milestones, new homes, and perfect vacations, while you're, well, just you. If you've ever found yourself thinking, am I the only one falling behind? Stay with me, because what you're experiencing has a name, a cause, and a solution, one you've probably never heard about. If you're ready to break free from comparison, to finally let go of that invisible stopwatch that leaves you feeling pressed for time, subscribe to the Growth Mindset Project and hit that bell. Every week, we're dropping new insights and actionable ideas that will help you create your own path to purpose on your own terms. Let's talk about something that quietly controls how we see ourselves: the social clock. The social clock is an unwritten timeline that society hands us, complete with deadlines for graduating, landing a real job, getting married, having kids, buying a house, and basically having it all figured out by a certain age.
It's not on your birth certificate or official documents, yet it shapes everything from our smallest anxieties to our biggest life plans. If you've ever sat at a family dinner, wincing at the, "So, any news in your life?" questions, or scrolled through endless life update posts and felt a pit in your stomach, that's the social clock ticking. We live surrounded by constant reminders of milestones we're supposed to achieve. By what age, in what order, and with which outcomes. And decades ago, there might have been a grain of truth in sticking with this script. But the world has changed. Radically. The script hasn't. Jobs don't look the same as they did for our parents' generation. Relationships are shifting forms. Housing costs are skyrocketing. Even the definition of success itself is up for debate. The social clock, though, still ticks. It's still urging us to compare our progress to everyone else's, even though the world we're operating in doesn't play by the same rules.
Here's where the research gets fascinating. Sociologists have studied people who fall in line with the social clock, those who hit all the normal milestones, and people who absolutely don't. Their discovery? Life satisfaction doesn't depend on running the race on schedule. In fact, people who veer off the social clock, getting married later, switching careers, having kids on their own timetable, often report equal or greater happiness than those who follow society's script to the letter. So when that anxious voice tells you you're behind, it's not because you're missing out on happiness. It's because you're measuring your life by someone else's stopwatch. Let's unpack what's really going on, psychologically. The thing that most predicts happiness isn't ticking off boxes on a social clock. It's feeling in charge of your own choices. When you make life moves out of anxiety, I'm running late, I'll just settle, you rob yourself of agency.
If the pressure to keep pace is your main motivation, you'll likely end up less satisfied, even if you hit all the marks. But research shows that when people feel empowered, when they understand and choose their path, even if it doesn't look on time, they end up happier, healthier, and less prone to depression or regret. It's not about when something happens. It's about why you do it and whether you feel like it's really yours. If you're still with me, hit like and share which stuck moment you felt most lately in the comments below. What's your social clock hassle? Career, relationships, something else? Your story matters here. Let's keep going. Think about this. You're scrolling through a feed, feeling behind, but what you're really feeling is a loss of control over your timeline, your story, your sense of agency in a world that's moving fast. When everyone else seems to be moving to a beat you're not even hearing, your sense of unease comes from feeling forced into someone else's rhythm. The real breakthrough is learning to tune out the social clock and tune into your own tempo. For example, maybe you're 32 and haven't found your person, while your friends are planning weddings and posting baby pics. The social clock will say you're late, but the data says otherwise. There is no late. There's only your time. The world is different now. The average American changes jobs 12 times in their life. Most people aren't finding their forever career right out of college. So why pressure yourself to have it all figured out by your mid-20s? Your 20s and early 30s are actually designed for experimenting, pivoting, and collecting stories. If you're on a zigzag path, congratulations, you're right on time for you. Let's touch on the house buying milestone. 50 years ago, your parents might have saved for a few years and bought a house that cost maybe 3 times their annual salary. Now, in many places, the average house is over 6 times the median income. The finish line has moved, but the social clock is still holding up its old stopwatch. You're not behind for struggling with this. You're living in different times. And the same goes for relationships. The average age for first marriage in the US has steadily climbed, now around 30 for men, 28 for women. That doesn't mean you're supposed to rush. The key to a successful relationship isn't what age you check the box. It's emotional readiness, self-knowledge, and maturity, none of which magically arrive on a set schedule. Let's take a quick moment. If this resonates, smash that like button, subscribe, and chime in with a comment. The more you interact, the more people find relief from the grip of the social clock. Back to the truth about achievement. Our culture is obsessed with early wins. Billionaires under 30, influencers at 16, awards, accolades. If you haven't gone viral or cashed out before you're 25, did you even try? But long-term studies, like Harvard's famous Grant study, show early success means nothing if it comes without strong, warm relationships. The people who were happiest and healthiest at age 70 and beyond weren't the ones with the most trophies. They were the ones who had supportive friendships and deep connections. The size of your friend circle matters more than the size of your follower count. Legacy isn't made up of titles and certificates. It's made up of the people who show up for your birthday, stand by you during losses, and celebrate your real wins. When you free yourself from the social clock, you start focusing on the relationships and values that give life meaning. That's what's remembered, not your arrival time at arbitrary milestones. Maybe you're wondering, is it too late for me to start over? Science says no way. Thanks to neuroplasticity, our brains can grow and adapt well into our 60s, 70s, and beyond. It's never too late to learn a new skill, start a new job, form new habits, or even rewire your way of thinking. Your brain is not a closed book. It's a story still being written. And here's the wildest part. Happiness doesn't peak in youth. Large studies show that life satisfaction follows a U-curve, low in the 40s, rising again in the 50s and beyond. That midlife crisis? It's real, but temporary. If you're feeling behind, you may just be in the valley before the climb. Many find their happiest, most gratitude-filled years after the supposed glory days of their 20s and 30s. Time is on your side, not working against you. A final nudge. The thoughts that leave you feeling behind are just patterns society has handed you. Patterns you can break by questioning the social clock. Your timeline is valid, your journey is yours. When you stop measuring your progress with someone else's stopwatch, you finally get to live on your own time. Stick with us if you want to keep breaking free from the social clock. Check out our next videos. There's always more to discover about living with more purpose, less pressure. Subscribe. Watch another video from the Growth Mindset Project, and let's build a timeline that truly fits you. And don't forget, the bell is your passport to future insights you won't want to miss.